Hey everybody, it's your girl Norie, and right now I'm coming to you from the Joy Theater in New Orleans. FX is hosting a private screening to premiere the third season of Snowfall. You know what it is, it's Norie TV on location, and here's your inside look. Among the cast and crew making an appearance, writer-producer Walter Mosley, actress Michael Hyatt, actor Damson Idris, actor Eamon Joseph, and a very pregnant and glowing Angela Lewis. What are you having? Do we know?
It's a girl.
Congratulations.
Something's happening in my neighborhood.
The show is set in the early 1980s and takes place in South Central Los Angeles. It follows the life of an ambitious kid named Franklin Saint, played by rising star Damson Idris. What were you doing before Snowfall?
Selling drugs. I'm playing.
He, his castmates, and other special guests were in attendance also for a special tribute to the late, great John Singleton, who originally executive produced the show. John Singleton definitely knocked it out the park. Now, when he found you, because he found a jewel, when he found you, how did he react? Did anyone else have to audition and he just picked you, or how did that all unfold?
So I taped from London to be on Snowfall. And, you know, just as a young actor who's very green, who doesn't have a lot of experience, you have to prove yourself and prove yourself and prove yourself again. And I did. You know, there was loads of people in the room, loads of people who auditioned. But thankfully, John saw something in me. And I definitely would say to the end of my life that John Singleton is definitely the person who founded me.
The show sheds light on the growing crack cocaine epidemic that plagued the inner cities, as well as the U.S. government and the CIA's involvement in smuggling the drugs into the U.S. in order to obtain funding to buy and smuggle weapons from overseas to fight their war on communism. So talk to the people that have the opinion that the show is glamorizing this lifestyle.
The people who think that the show is glamorizing the lifestyle have not watched it. I don't even care if they looked at it. They have not watched it. Because it's ridiculous. I mean, the lives these people are living, you know, because if something's glamorous, you say, ooh, I wish I had that life instead of this life. When you look at where they're living, and you say, no, I don't want that life. Shoot. I'm living with all this money and all this drugs in the middle of the hood where people want to kill me. No, that's not glamorous. You know, and when you see people using drugs, it's kind of ugly.
So in the words of Eamon Joseph,
you're an avid watcher.
I am. I love the show. I'm like hooked on it. That's right. So you know, I had to press the cast and try to get an exclusive for y'all about what's going down in season 3. I'm so excited for your character because she's getting her groove back this season where we see more of that, the relationship with the dad build.
You know what? You will. You absolutely will. The story of Alton Saint is truly explored in this season, and I'm so excited for that because you get to see the family as a whole. He is a man with a history, and you understand why Sissy fell in love with him.
Gotcha. And I like that his daddy was a Panther. Did you have to research their history or?
100%. Yeah, I always knew about the Panthers because it was just something I was really interested in growing up as a black boy who, you know, saw oppression in my community. I always wanted to know, you know, the different levels that racial brutality stemmed from and different levels of empowerment amongst African people. And the Black Panther Party was obviously one I admired. So when I found out that Franklin's dad was one, I dived into it even more, you know, and yeah, Kevin Carroll, who plays my dad, does a phenomenal job at portraying that.
Did you know your character would be in a lesbian relationship before the show started?
No.
Was it shocking? Like, how did you handle it?
Yeah, it was shocking, but you know, I was down for it. You know, you just kind of go for things, and as long as it was written well, and I trusted everybody on set, so I knew I was safe. And we had communication between the other actress and myself, Judith Scott, and she's a respectable woman. And you know, so it was a good experience.
I love how it all unfolded when y'all got back together. Because before, when she left, your character was a bit condescending, but after she came back, like, he respected her a little bit more, was a little bit more loving, careful with our hearts. To me, that was like the ultimate example of things falling apart so they can fall back together. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think that's a great way of surmising it. I do feel like, you know, the writers have their way of tearing these characters apart to put them back together. That actually hurt me a lot because just the person that I am, Eamon and Angela, the actress. I mean, I respect and love Angela, you know, like a sister. So it was really hard to go through that breakup.
What really happened with Claudia? Because I didn't know if she like really died or what. They just kind of left it.
At the end of season 2, she is not dead. So we'll have to see what happens in season 3.
I was hoping you would confirm something for us tonight. I will. I'll try. First of all, I just want to say I appreciate the accuracy of black personalities. Is that something that y'all talked about before the show started? Because everything comes off so natural.
No, really. Everything is like we're trying our best. First, you know, John, when he was working with it, he was like really concentrated on accuracy. I try my best. Dub C was part of it, and Dub C, you know, worked really closely with Damson, and Damson is like, you know, near perfect, and he's as English as you can be.
See, I am in love with Franklin Saint. I am in love with him.
Bless you. Bless you so much.
Do you work with, first of all, okay, we know you're British, but you have that American Western twang, West Coast twang down to a T. Do you work with like a vocal coach or something?
Yes. I kind of brought in Dub C. John Singleton helped me bring him in from West Side Connection, famous rapper, of course. And aside from just the accent, he taught me how to walk the walk of a South Central teen in the 80s, you know, and really diving into the culture of what people from that community were like.
Such a good job. He's sexy, smart as hell, business savvy, you know, the total package. So I know we see him delve into the cocaine business, but now that he's expanding, making more money, like, are we going to get a glimpse of him really putting his skills to use, branching out and finding legal businesses?
You got to watch the show. I will say this season Franklin's running his business in a very corporate manner, and he's looking to clean his money more this season.
Like, she's always the righteous one and pretty much blames everybody for Franklin's demise, but will she ever come around to accept the lifestyle?
Will she ever come around to accept? Last season you saw her, she came to the prison with Alton and she saw her son beaten to a pulp, right? In that moment, all of her moral standings were challenged. And what you will see in season 3, I don't know that the blame is any less, but what you see in season 3 is her embracing this reality to try to save her son.
It's so heartbreaking to watch every time she turns them away. So at the moment when he's on the run from the police and he visits his mom, it's like, I'm like, you know, finally she's embracing him. It was like a breath of fresh air.
We parents,
I felt the hug and everything.
We parents, we try every tactic in the book to keep our children straight, right? You know, if it is, you know, the begging and the pleading doesn't work, then I will disown you if you do this.
He doesn't seem to be moved by like the women, the groupies, the wild parties. That's another thing I love about him. I'm just so in love with him. So do we see you like, you know, start to feel yourself a little more, or you kind of stay the same?
You know, this season, I definitely think Franklin is, you know, by the time we hit episode 3, Alonzo, who directed it, he said that episode was the episode where Franklin transitions into doing things that he doesn't normally do. You know?
Like what?
Taking risks, you know. He's definitely moving into his James Bond in episode 3, you know. And
always been about those risks, always in dangerous situations.
Exactly, and money brings that, you know. Money and power, I guess, breeds confidence for some people.
I love the bond between you and Franklin, because even though he is the younger character, like, you respect him. There's no jealousy, because sometimes that's usually what happens in a storyline, and they drag it out. It's so boring. But like the scene where y'all was sitting at the table negotiating the deal, you wanted 50%, you took 25%, and you were so proud. Like, that was a huge moment for me. That made me fall in love with y'all even more. What's it like with y'all on set?
I mean, in real life, that's like the little brother too. So, yeah, I feel like, yeah. I mean, you know what? I'm always just looking for an opportunity to show the bond of the family, and so even in that situation with Jerome and Franklin, it's, yeah, I'm gonna push it. Hey, let's what's the deal? But to see my nephew be able to negotiate a deal is just as inspiring and makes him feel good as him getting in on part of the business, you know? So, yeah, and doing that with fun and making that entertaining for the audience is all what I'm about.
You're definitely entertaining. You can count on him to make any serious situation funny. He's whipping people with belts, all kind of. I'm here with R&B singer Keith Jacobs. He's out here for the premiere of Snowfall Season 3. What's going on?
Season 3, man, I'm super excited. I'm an avid fan of Snowfall, you know what I'm saying? So to be here and celebrate this for Essence Fest, man, it's a vibe. It's one time for the culture, man.
You going out and enjoy the Essence festivities?
I got to. It's hot as a mug out there, you know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely going to be able to enjoy the festivities at Essence Fest. It's only right.
Other than that, how is New Orleans treating you?
Man, it's a vibe. It's a culture like none other, man. Whenever I could be here in New Orleans and be in the city, I like to embrace it, you know? So be here.
One last thing before you go. I want to talk to Franklin. Can I? I want you to look.
You gotta watch the show.
Tell him again. Tell him, look in that camera and tell them what they need to do. Ask Franklin.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Norie TV? Y'all need to tune in July 10 p.m. FX, Snowfall. Greatest show in the world.
Greatest show. Hey, thank you. Make sure you catch it. It's going to be coming on FX Wednesday, July 10th, 10/9 Central.